Others might not be able to get to it because he is 6'10". The whole package weighs up into him being a pretty unique passer.
What's it like just having him and being able to watch him, not playing him all the time? You know what I mean? Like when he couldn't play, and you knew what you had, right?
Not really.
Oh.
No, like we all. I had a vision of him as a point guard. That was challenged aggressively.
Yeah.
And it's early days, but we feel good about, as an organization, giving him the ball right now. And I think that he's really growing in that area. I didn't realize that he was going to be as gifted athletically immediately. You could see it, but how it was going to translate on an NBA court, and I see it clearly now. You wished and you hoped, but you didn't know. And I feel like now I know. I think the history that I have had with his family, makes the situation personally even more kind of unique. But just coaching him after having, spent a year with him in a classroom and on the court and talking with him, to see him actually play now, it's quite special. The position that we're playing him, the success that he is having, and the realization is this organization has something very unique, we hope, for a very long time.
This game with some of the guys involved between your side and Utah side brings it more into focus. But do you still feel a connection to like the whole Australia basketball thing and some of the guys that you've been exposed to during that time?
I mean, absolutely. If you talk about like just this program, let's start with the Aussies. And so Dante and Joe Ingles. Joe was my starting three-man in London. I lived there for 17 years, coached there for 17 years, married one. 2 of my 3 kids were born there. Australia was a significant part of my, coaching evolution and my personal evolution. And so now to be able to have Ben, who I coached his father, and, come into Utah and see that Australian connection, that's pretty cool. To also look down and see Quinn Snyder that I worked with, through my San Antonio days and as a personal friend, and see Dennis Lindsay, who I spent time with, 5 years or 6 years in San Antonio as a personal friend. All over the place, you got sort of a fondness and a respect for this organization.
Speaking of Joe Ingles, what stands out the most about his growth from the time you had him to where he is now?
I mean, I really challenged him defensively. There was an aloofness I felt when I was first with him. Sort of a, cruisy left-handed scorer, long. You just were really attracted to his body initially. He has grown to be an elite defensive player. He really can guard. My memory of him personally was him guarding Luol Deng in the London Olympic Games, and he completely, bothered him. And to see Joe now, here, we always knew he could shoot, but he's really grown his defense. He's grown up, as a real leader. He's sort of a glue guy. I think his ability to play pick and roll, and hit Rudy on rolls and lobs and all that, because of his length, he's sort of he just uncoils, is unique. And, he was just rewarded with a fantastic contract, as he should have been. His story is a great story.
Brett, who are you going with tonight at the 5?
I'm going with Rashawn.
And can you say why you decided to go with Rashawn?
Keep him here in his sort of his role. He was coming off the bench behind Joel, and just keep him in that sort of steady place. I think that Rashawn tried to get some bounce, right off the bat. As we talked about, we want to play fast. Rashawn does play fast, and I just think that for those reasons, I've decided to go with Rashawn.
With Rashawn, being this was second game back, Amir staying in his role, do you foresee us seeing Ja a little bit?
Possibly. I think as the game unfolds, it'll speak to us. I'm certainly not going to discount it. But, you go into the game with preconceived plans and scouting report reasons, and initially that's how I'll play that group.
How important is it, you've won 4 in a row, right? Like, you've never won 5 in a row since you've been here, right? How important is it to have that kind of streak going, or have that reinforcement and positivity?
I think you'd be lying if you didn't say you felt, continues to validate the work. It's great for the guys. My motive isn't that at all. It's trying to grow it. You know, we know we're doing the right things. We feel pretty confident we're working the way we should work and focusing on the things we should. It sure helps when you can get some wins to like keep that momentum, especially with young guys. And it's just the rhythm beat of the NBA is relentless, and we refer to it often as you get caught in the current. And the current could be a riptide or it could be an easy flow. And right now, like we're in a little bit of a early days groove. It's going to be interesting without Joel, but we're excited to build on some of the good basketball this young team's been playing. Thanks, Coach. Thank you all.